Roll call.
Mike Brown.
Present.
Robert Thomas. Eddie Coaches.
Present.
Ronald Fleming.
Present.
Brown Timmons.
Present.
Paul Watson.
Present.
Molly Blackburn.
Present.
Jim Four.
Please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to offer an invocation?
I will. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this opportunity for all of us to come and conduct our city business. Please be with our leaders and our council, that they make wise decisions, and be with the community as we try to figure out just exactly what's when, where, and whatever. Thank you for this beautiful day and this time spent together. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
At this time, we'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
There's a motion on the table to adopt the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
And second, roll call vote.
Eddie Coaches.
Yes.
Ronald Fleming.
Yes.
Brown Timmons.
Yes.
Paul Watson.
Yes.
Molly Blackburn.
Yes.
Passes 5-0.
All right. First order in new business is new licenses. We have a couple of businesses here. It's interesting, I was reading the other day that they've done studies and business growth is proportionally related to population growth. For about every 22 citizens that are added to a city, a new business enters in to the city.
Did we get 22 people?
I don't know. We'd have to do a census to find out for sure. But there are four business licenses here.
How?
So
It's 40.
this first one is, correct me if I'm saying this wrong, Hericus.
That's right.
Hericus Salon and Spa LLC. I'll pass it down this way and we'll pass it down that way. I'll just pass this one over. And this one is the Appraisal Company LLC. On-Site Towing LLC. And Hangry.
Who's on-site towing run by?
Who ended up with On-Site Towing?
Roger Craves. CIA.
License for Hangry. I know Hangry is a food truck, and I've seen it over a big park.
Bishop. Oh, yeah.
You have seen it. It's like a yellow truck.
Yeah. Just about to call secretary.
This one is the Appraisal Company coming down. This side of the table, we got a chance to see these on-site towing. And Hericus Salon and Spa. Did anyone in the audience have any questions about what we're looking at? The appraisal company's been returned to me. Any questions? Hangry back up here. Did you get a
Mayor,
chance?
I apologize
No,
for
you're-
being late.
You're okay, you're okay. Did you want to see any of this?
I
You might
read
want
them
to-
on the internet.
Erica's Salon and Spa. Got all of them? All right. Are there any motions at this time to accept these licenses?
I'll make a motion to accept them. Would you like to do them separately, Mayor?
The cast small is one, cast small is
So at this time,
I just asked.
are you making a motion to accept all at once, or do you want to already make a motion?
Whatever you would like, Mayor.
It is your motion. Unless anyone else wants to make a different motion.
I will make a motion then to accept all four. Hangry, the appraisal company, on-site towing and recovery, Erica's Salon and Spa.
There's a motion on the table to accept all four of these business licenses. Erica's Salon and Spa, the appraisal company, Hangry, and on-site towing. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Donna. And roll call vote.
Barbara Thomas,
Yes.
Betty Tilges,
Yes.
Bob Fleming,
Yes.
Darrell Timmons,
Yes.
Paul Watson,
Yes.
Marlene Blackburn.
Yes.
All four of them have been passed 6-0, sir.
All right, we got some businesses in. And I skip this part. We're going to go back to approving the bills. You'll see before you there's several items that relate to the bills. An Excel spreadsheet with what we owe. You notice at the back of this Excel spreadsheet, there is the account as of 7/3/2018 at 1,500. There's 63,000. If you subtract payroll from that, the estimated 35. That leaves us with 33,000. Please also subtract 3,500 for the water reserve, which still needs to be removed from that amount. You'll also notice in front of you that there are scheduled payment update. There is a court budget report, an administrative budget report, police budget report, trash budget report, water budget report, sewer budget report, and a street budget report. Oh, one more. And the library budget report. I missed the part, Linda page, I missed that together.
Right. It's page.
Trash, I said.
Right before water.
Right for water. Okay, Mark. And the park budget report. Would anyone like to see my copy?
I would.
There you go. Uh-huh. Once you come back to the Excel spreadsheet, if there's any questions in regards to the bills, we do have the actual bills over here that will be pulled as requested.
call from Park City Auto Parts.
Okay.
I had spoken to Delina, and she said they would extend no more credit until the amount of $1493.06 is paid.
Okay.
I told her I'd present it to the council, and that was Park City Auto Parts.
Park City Auto Parts. I'm looking for it on the
I
sales
think they have
spreadsheet.
it under Dixon Auto
They
Parts.
call it Dixon Auto. Is it Dixon Auto Supply?
Yes.
1438.
Well, they told me actually the amount is $1493.06.
14.
So I'm gonna write 1493.06. It's just a little bit more than what we have here.
I will add to, I'll add to that, I've been contacted by Data Tech, they're asking that the amount of $1669.20 be paid
Is that it?
as soon as possible. It's on page 2, almost halfway down, Data Tech, $1,669.20. Training Summit. Also, going back to the first page, Ozark Testing, it's imperative that this be paid in full. Ozark Testing does the testing for the water.
I got an email from that, and they do our monthly testing. And they said that it has not been paid since February of this past year. And they can no longer do testing, even our sample that was submitted for June, until it is paid for. I advised her as soon as the council met, I would bring that to their attention and get back with her with regard to what the council decides.
It's my recommendation that we pay that in full.
And I also received a message from Herman Hartwell, and they would like to do a contract with paying them $7,500 or more a month.
That's correct. Thanks. I was just actually about to get into that, and we do need to talk about that, but with contracts, of course, we do have to go
It's
into.
Carmen Hartwell.
She's over at Gas Company.
Okay.
She's in charge of this.
They are asking.
Okay, so we're talking about.
She's the
yes,
general
yes,
manager.
Yeah, I think we need to pay
I-
this amount.
It is,
No, it would be a payment. She would like to,
she wants it
she
right.
wants a contract. And
Mr. Baker,
I can also
Yeah.
read
can you
this
keep,
if anyone would
can you
like
keep a total for
to
us?
see it.
Yeah.
So again, if you look at the back, there is 32,000, but let's take,
Let's take
remember to take 35
$3,500
for the water
off
reserve,
that.
and then I would say leave some, again, in case of emergency, and maybe a goal of 25, 22 to spend 22 to 25 on paying off bills.
Okay, let's start with a balance of 2,500. 25,000. Mr. Baker.
25,000?
If I could recommend that one of the first priorities be the water reserve, 3,500 over a year would get us back to where we need to be.
I make a motion.
Mike, you already said that was off the 30.
So there still needs to be 35 transferred from last
Right,
week.
so that would make it.
Correct. And then if we leave a little bit for reserve, 25,000, we leave a little bit just in case there's some kind of
Right, so we're
emergency.
starting from 25, okay.
Right.
No problem.
I would make a motion that we reserve $3,500 from the $25,000 to ensure our bond.
I'll second that motion.
There's a motion on the table to reserve 3,500 for water reserve. Has been seconded. Roll call vote.
Earl Thomas,
Yes.
Betty Tilges,
Yes.
Donald Fleming,
Yes.
Marion Timmons,
Yes.
Bob Watson,
Yes.
Marlene Blackburn,
Yes.
passes 6-0.
Thank you.
And then we also need to pay Tri-County as much as we can. And use them a little more often than taking it out of town.
What page is that on?
That's on the first page.
At the bottom here, I
Yes.
see. Are you making a motion, Betty?
I would like to make a motion. Can we afford to give them this amount, $3,500? They need their money.
They all do, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely, they all do. I was asking you, Barb, since you're in charge of this.
I'm not in charge of it.
Everyone's here as a team.
I'm not in charge of
Oh,
it.
I
Everyone's
thought
here as a
you were
team,
doing
please. If
Doing
there's-
one.
Taking care of this, since you got messages
I got,
from people.
no, you misunderstood. I got a message
Mhm.
from Park City Auto Parts,
Right.
and I got a message from Ozark Testing. Those are the only two that I think I got a message from.
I see.
Which doesn't equate her being in charge.
We're here to work as a team, please remember that.
That's right. I'm just
You have
giving,
just been taking care of the accounting, that's all. Haven't you been taking care of this?
Well,
Have you
we're-
done this?
no,
That's a
No.
misconception.
Oh,
I think
thought
we're here,
you did.
we all need to
No.
be here as a team.
Well, see, now I know. You don't ask, how do you know?
Hey, are you allowed to take questions from the audience now, or is that coming later?
We'll take it here in just a minute, please. All right.
no, I don't do this, Betty.
I see.
Why
I
would
thought
you?
that did.
I don't know why you would assume
I
I would
don't
do
know, I
this.
just figured you were working on it.
No.
Well, that's good to know, Bart.
Well, good for asking, Betty. And nobody
That's
has-
why, if you don't ask, you don't know,
That's
right?
true.
This all came
And
from
if
the
you,
office.
if you just assume and things can be
Exactly.
taken out of context.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now we've got it straight.
Okay, you were in the middle of a motion, Betty?
Yes.
Paul had a question real quick. Let's,
Sure.
let's let Paul ask his question, please.
No, we got a bill in for Lowe's. It's $1,178.69. What material was that? Where did it go?
Lowe's.
It's on the bottom of the third page.
On page 3.
Why don't we buy it from our own local lumberyard?
I guess,
Please wait till we have questions.
Okay.
I guess we would have to ask Rob about that. It looks like Rob is the one.
No, I took that off. I'm sorry. I forgot to take this one over there.
It wasn't Rob? Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
He was already paid, all of it, or?
So,
Is Lowe's bills paid?
Mhm.
Paid when it went in the bill.
Claire. She's Claire. So go ahead and cross it off.
Get a
I think
date.
you might be looking at a different page. Are you looking at, what page are you looking at?
He's not looking at the right one.
Oh, I handed mine out to the audience. Okay, so page 3. No, Paul, can you show us where you're at exactly? Yeah, this one. So, this report will, this you will have to pull from our records. We'll have to go back to the office and pull the records for this.
What do I have, what do we have?
It's right in front of you, the Excel sheet right there.
This is what I'm talking about. Do we need this?
That's for record information, so you go over stuff. But going into some of these, we have to go back and pull records out of the bank accounts. This is stuff that's been paid.
so that, wow, 2909 is,
The Dixon
This is how we usually get the bills, that's what we do. That's the silver bills.
It's organized like
This
this.
is what we owe. Okay, this is bills for last month.
oh, so it has not.
This one right here. And any of the bills that we have yet to pay, we do have the hard copies of what we present over here. So if there's any questions, you can pull what we owe. If you have questions about meetings in the past, we'll have to pull that from the office. It reminds you, there is a motion on the table.
Yeah.
Betty, can you state your motion again?
Who made the motion?
Tri-County, 3,500. I'd like to make a motion to pay Tri-County. They've been really good to us. They've been waiting a long time. It's $35.75.20. Absolutely.
So there's a motion on the table to pay Tri-County Lumber $3,575.28. It's been seconded. Roll call vote.
Paul Watson,
Yes.
Betty Joseph,
Yes.
Carolyn Timmons,
Yes.
Ron Fleming,
No.
Arlene Blackburn,
Nope.
Barbara Thomas,
No,
Mr. Mayor,
No.
Judge Langenfeld.
Motion fails.
I'd like to make a motion with regard to Tri-County Lumber that we pay at least $1,500 toward that account, as we have several other matters, I think that we tended to with the bulk of the money. My motion is to pay Tri-County Lumber $1,500.
There's a motion on the floor to pay Tri-County Lumber $1,500. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been seconded. Roll call vote.
Paul Watson. Paul Watson.
I guess a little better than that.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Betty Joseph,
Yes.
Wouldn't pay loss, nothing.
Carolyn Timmons,
Yes.
Ron Fleming,
Yes.
Arlene Blackburn,
Yes.
Barbara Thomas,
Yes.
as 6-0.
All right.
If I may comment for a second. I think our small business here in town is important. This bill's been hanging over their head for quite a while, along with some of these others. I think that we need to keep our business here in town and take care of us first. Have we bought material and stuff over at Lowe's here lately in the last 30 days?
I have requested that any materials that can be sourced locally do. Not all materials that are needed can be found locally. Unfortunately, I hope one day that they can be. I hope one day that our local hardware store will have just as much as Lowe's. And same thing for groceries. But because there's not always all the materials that are needed to be found, sometimes unfortunately we do have to go to the business.
Can you tell me what the last big purchase was? That the city bought from Tri-County?
Is Josh here?
What the last big purchase was? Yes, I can tell you what the last big purchase was. Sheetrock. And if you really want to know, Mr. Paul Watson, I bought that, I paid out of my own pocket for that up there. It was not charged to the city. They went to the city, it was a donation.
And you can do that.
Well, it'd be nice if the council knew about that beforehand.
Why does the council have to know?
I think some
Donation?
people would prefer that their donations remain silent.
Yeah, I'm just saying, back to my comment, I think that we need to get as much business as we can, and the stuff that come in on roads is something that could have been brought right down here.
I will
Just want to throw that out there.
I will encourage the city as a whole to try and source locally. If we find areas where we haven't been sourcing locally, I would ask that we relook and do the best that we can to support our local businesses.
And we can't dictate what a donor, where they buy and sell their things.
Okay, I make a motion that we pay Ozark Testing. Again, my basis for not paying Tri-County in full, because there are some bills here I think that are necessary to be paid right away. Ozark Testing does our monthly DNR report and submits it to DNR. She advised me that if that was not paid in full, that they withheld excuse me, Ben? Were you
I'm
saying
listening.
something? Okay. So they advised that the July's report, or excuse me, June report would not be sent into DNR because of the arrears. I think that's, she basically told me if it's not paid and they don't send the report in, DNR is gonna penalize us. So I think that $1,100 is crucial in order for us to stay current with our testings that's required once a month by DNR. Based on that, I would propose that we pay Ozark Testing $1,110 to become current so they can submit the current testing onto DNR.
There's a motion on the floor to pay Ozark Testing amount of, if I get this correct, $1,110.
Correct.
Is there a second? And a second, a roll call vote.
Bill Watson,
No.
Betty Tilges,
Yes.
Marilyn Timmons,
Yes.
yes. Say yes. Donna Fleming,
Yes.
Marlene Blackburn,
Yes.
Barbara Thomas.
Yes.
Passes 5-1, sir.
All right, it appears that, if you all don't mind, it appears that the crowd has some questions and comments. We'll take just a couple. I saw a couple hands raised back here. If you don't mind.
Apparently, that's okay. She wants to go first, I think, because she got up
Okay.
there.
We'll just take 3 comments, and then we're going to move on right now. Go ahead.
I'll just try to stay calm. I have seen such hostility when it comes to this, and, you know, when we come into a new council with a $200,000 debt, okay, $200,000 debt, and we're trying to work this out, there has to be this pettiness. It is ridiculous. Okay, just because somebody got a hair up their ass. Now, seriously, we're all adults here. We have a problem. We are trying to solve the problem. You have people with a financial history that know how to do this and are trying their best to do it. Seriously, I'm embarrassed and disgusted by it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Before let's all commit to work together as a team. Thank you for your
I
comments.
agree.
Please.
Okay. I believe when you first came on board, you said something about transparency. Hey, if Jesse's going to be such a good citizen, why don't he come out and tell us instead of finding out like this?
Why do I have to tell somebody what I donate? Where does it say I have to donate?
I don't guess it has to say, but you see what it leads to?
Why would it lead to
That's like
that?
speculation.
Let him have his please let him have his words. Let him say what he needs to say. Please go ahead.
Well, and you see people coming and going in deliveries, and back to the at-will cards. They've carried us, I think, since the first of the year. No interest charge they charge. And Marlene here wants to pay Lowe's before we pay those guys. I don't think that's right. We've got to keep our business here in town. And them boys can be competitive on anything we need. If things are done right, you know what you need weeks in advance, there's planning. I need sheetrock this size. Have they ever went up in price? Did Jesse, did anybody go? I guess so, since he's paying out of his own pocket, he can buy it wherever he wants. I guess that's what that is. But anything bought through the city, everything needs to be purchased as much as possible through the local lumber yard, I think.
And I did that.
Thank you for your comments, and I agree. We should always try to source locally. Let's try to support our local business as much as possible. I ask that we as a council always consider this, and I think we really have. But we can always relook and adjust, and if we find places where we can further support our local businesses, let's do so.
I agree with you totally, Mayor. We should keep our revenue here. But I think, again, if it's a donation, where does it matter where that donor made the purchase? They're giving it to us. Any other donor off the street that would give us money or a property, are we going to critique them because they bought it in Springfield and given it to us here in Dixon? Are we going to ask them if they give a monetary contribution? Wait a minute, did you earn that? Or, you know, what did you do to come up with? That is absolutely crazy in my thinking. A donation is a donation. Doesn't matter where they made the purchase to donate items. Oh, now that's
Before you make
crazy.
Let
that
her finish,
comment,
please. Hey, let her finish. Let her
I'm
finish.
Don't you think
finished. That's crazy.
transparency-
Let her finish. Let her finish, please.
Transparency is what the council does, not what the public does to donate. This isn't rocket science.
Okay, so you explain to me how the Lowe's truck pulls up out here. I don't know if it's a donation or not. They're saying, why are we buying from Lowe's, let me speak, and not buying from the local lumberyard up here? What am I supposed to tell them? I didn't know he donated it. The council didn't know, well, certain of us didn't.
Then why didn't you go, why didn't you make a call or talk to one of your aldermen and say, hey, I seen a Lowe's truck here. I'm concerned about that. You know, what, are we making purchases from Lowe's instead of Tri-County? You know, it's too much speculation. There's too much speculation, Paul. You're a council person. Who
And
shares
informed,
your ward?
you know,
Who shares your ward?
Marlene right
Marlene. You could have called Marlene and say, hey,
She's
do you know
been-
anything about this? Do you know anything about this? But no, Paul, this is what the problem is here, and I'm going to tell you where I'm at with it. The problem is, some like to come in here and make a big spill in front of the council, rather than curtailing it by picking up the phone and making a simple phone call and working together as a team and, hey Barb, do you know what that is, the Lowe's truck? What's going on with that? You want to automatically assume, oh, we're buying our materials out of town instead of helping our local vendors. See, this is how this stuff gets started.
Let's sow
Pure,
receipts.
pure speculation. Pure speculation. This council has been more transparent than any council you've probably been on. Am I not right, Paul?
That's the truth.
there. I don't know. That's your opinion. That's your
No,
opinion.
I'm asking you, has this council been more transparent? No. So when you didn't know what was going on under Wethington and you said you weren't allowed to be included in the day-to-day business,
I'm not being told now.
are you asking? And you
Here's the
said
thing.
when you asked,
The mayor
they
right
would
here,
not
the
tell
mayor
you. When
is
they asked,
supposed
they
to-
would not tell you because they said they run the day-to-day operation. You don't need to know. Have you asked the mayor, hey, do you know what this is about? Or can you check into it? This is how
I'll have to
petty
say,
little
I'll have to say, I
speculation
tried to talk
starts.
to the mayor, and the mayor said he would think about it. He would think about it.
Think about what?
Talking to me, in your yard. In your yard, I
Did-
said, Mike, could you come over this evening and talk to me? I have a question, I want to talk to you.
Was your
Either in my
questions-
home or on my patio.
Okay.
At my house, not your house, but at my house.
Okay, well,
And he
let's,
said, I will think about it, and put his nose up in the air and put a little smirkish grin, and off he went.
okay.
And never
Pettiness
contacted
is
me.
rules the roost.
So,
Order.
Okay,
you find out, you try to ask Bart, and you can't find out.
was that what you wanted to ask him
I had
about the
several
Lowe's trucks?
questions. I had several questions.
Okay, this is where I'm at with it.
Do you tell me what you ask him all the time? I mean, why do I need to say what?
Oh, with all due respect,
This is
Mrs.
so
Stewart, this is sugar-coated hostility. You are using
Right.
sugar-coated hostility.
All right, we're moving on.
Earlier and now.
Let's stop, we're moving on. Listen,
Pettiness.
if,
You need to keep order, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
No due respect to everybody.
stop. If at any point anyone would like to get on my calendar, usually there's Fridays, call down to City Hall and talk to Lou, who maintains the calendar. and she will put you on it. Paul, we've had meetings before that you didn't show up for. Betty, I don't think that you've ever been on my calendar because I've never seen it. Anybody here else on the council, same thing. I have not heard that anybody has not been able to get on the calendar.
I've tried to call
So-
you. You've got 3 phone numbers that I've tried to reach you at. You've changed your phone 3 times. And yes, I've tried to talk to you many times and you don't answer. Sent you an email, you didn't answer that. There you go.
I seem to recall that I tried to get hold of you when you were mayor, and you, 3 times in one time, you didn't even return my calls to the point where I had to go to City Hall and confront you.
You never went to City Hall, and I'm not going to argue
God.
with you, Marlene. Don't really
Oh my
get me
God.
going on this. I am here for the city. You're
Yeah.
not, and that is apparent.
Right.
All right,
Okay.
moving on with bills.
May I say something quickly? Okay. How we get along outside of this council on our own personal time
That's what your
is
brother-in-law said last
up
night.
to us. And he's the county commissioner, and he just so happens to be my brother-in-law.
Absolutely.
And he just so happened to offer us services for free. Is that a bad thing,
That was a
Betty?
good thing,
Okay, so
So
what?
why are we bringing it up?
just like Waynesville.
Just like
He
Wayne.
offered to do things for free. He didn't figure what was wrong with that.
Meeting's over, meeting's adjourned.
Thank you. Total embarrassment anyway.
This is absolutely crazy. I was going